Hi, um, welcome to this part of the story about rebuilding of walls, and we've been talking about Nehemiah in relation to the mother wound healing and understanding the walls that you've built and whether they are serving you and what investment you would like to make in that journey that God has placed you, especially for your family. Remember, our tagline for this series is Healing Bloodlines, and our guiding verse is Psalm 139. So I'm sharing my experience from the Nehemiah angle because even in my own journey, somewhere after Nehemiah had decided that, oh yes, let's rebuild the walls that are in ruins, some guys showed up, a guy called Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem. And they asked him, Bana, what are you doing? What impact do you think you will have? You have just decided to be the one who does things differently. And he answered them by saying, the God of heaven will give us success. And I remember when I went back home and I have been reintroducing myself, even to my siblings, that my name is Mariah and I am, who I am and how God has made me. And I feel, you can feel that look. You can feel that air of, okay, this will also die down. And what they've realized is I am living a super intentional way. I am carrying myself as well in a very super authentic way. Not in pride, not in anything, but because I am trusting that God will give me success. And Nehemiah went on to say, we his servants will start rebuilding, but as for you, you have no share in Jerusalem or any claim or historic right to it. And so many times, as we are going through this life, we want people to come along. We want that mother to come along. You want your siblings to come along. You want your children to come along. And there are some things only you can do for yourself. Like shower. How you go into the shower alone unless you're with your loved one or someone you have invited to shower with you. Or maybe toilet business. You know how those privacy moments are just private? Sometimes when you're healing, come closer, let me narrate. Sometimes when you're healing yourself, it's private. And there's no problem with it being private. There is no anxiety about it being private. I don't remember any time anyone went into surgery with their loved one just because they loved them so much. There are times when God is working in your life, you have to be checked in alone, be left alone, be attended to alone, and all that the others can do is come and see the progress, is come and hear the progress. And whose better hands to be in than the good Lord himself? And so in my journey, I have found myself on this mother wound healing walk, feeling like I wish everyone could see that we are healing the generations to come. I wish they would understand that this is one way of loving the future we might not be here for or be here with. And what that looks like for me is that I understand now that not everyone has a claim. Wow. Not everyone has a historic right to my future bloodlines. And I've had that cliche line of, if someone lets you go, go. That's the other side they don't talk about. They say if they want to go, let them go. Now, my mantra has been, if you let me go, I will go. And I will trust that God is waiting for me on the other side. I had a very, very amazing conversation. I think I've been talking about it the whole year. About how an old friend of mine told me, Mariah, stop being afraid of playing big. Stop being shy of your awesomeness. Kwani these people you admire, are they not made from mud like you? They're not made from gold. And since that day, every time I see big, beautiful homes, big, beautiful cars, and posh lifestyles, and everything that I've ever dreamed of, I say, God, thank you that we are all made of mud. And I just pray that when my time comes, if you watch that movie, how it's one item at a time, one item at a time. And I tell God, when it's my time to be seen, God, I pray that I will be ready to be seen. And as a mother, or as an adult who has suffered the mother wound, it's very difficult to be seen authentically. It is very, very sort of like self-sabotaging to show up half-baked. And going through this journey has helped me to understand that the people who are not supposed to be a part of this journey don't need to be included. They don't need to be involved. I'm one of those people, being an empath as well. I like closure. So I've been chasing people my whole life for closure. Oh, I just like us to have closure on that issue. Oh, I stopped that. And the day I stopped looking for those people, they called me. And they were like, you've gone quiet. And I said, God will give me success. And I wonder where you're at about success for the generations that are coming. Not life success, financial success, social success, generational success. And I appreciate that some men have spoken, and they're saying, I wish I knew this even before I got married, because if I had gotten into my marriage with this issue, I would not have left my wife. I would not have abandoned my children. I would not have cut myself off from my family, because I would have understood that I have been placed there for the glory of God. Sometimes we mourn the negative, painful things and people in our lives. But if you tell God, God, give me success here. Give me success despite of this person, despite of this experience. Only then will you see what God can do for you. I'll never forget the day after about 30 years, I came out and said, you know what? I had been molested as a child. And that had made me never, ever want to go outside and play. And what that had looked like for me and my children is, do not go outside and play, because I don't trust the people who are outside. But then I realized, with the help of the word, that these children are only mine to steward. God is the one who gave me. I didn't even know I would have girls. I didn't even know whether it would be, how it would be. I just got blessed with children. And as a mom or an adult, a father, and you're living that life of, because it happened to me, I will protect you. You cannot protect them. You have to ask God to heal you, so that you're able to let these generations come in the way of the Lord, and trust that God will give you success. Now I look at my children and they clap for me. I see them clapping for me and they're like, "Where? Progress." And just the other day, despite the whole progress thing, they still told me that I'm a helicopter mom. And I wondered, where is that coming from? I thought I've let this thing go. But they told me, there are some areas you're still holding on to tightly. And I said, okay, I'm going to work on them. But can you imagine, I would never have that conversation with my own mom. And I try to teach my children that when they see my brokenness, when they see the walls of mine that need rebuilding, I'm working on it. And they've seen the transformation. They've seen me elevating. And I'm just wondering, how much more, how much little strength do you need to put one more brick on your wall? And whatever that brick would look like, whether it's faith, discipline, courage, honesty with yourself. Maybe you need help from a coach to help you understand, okay, don't use this size of a brick yet, because it's not what you need right now. Let's do a big brick first so that you're laying the foundation. Then let's go placing the other size of bricks along the way. Or let's use a very small brick for now. I'd like to have this conversation with you, definitely.